Hi, I'm Rob Donnelly. I'm the author of the book Con, and I thought I might just do a short video, a little bit of a reading from the book. And the section that I'm reading is after Con Donnelly, who's my ancestor. This is a fictional book. He and the gang he's with are making their way to Jerusalem, which in current times we call Colebrook. And they've kind of been marched through town, out of town, and they're about to cross the Derwent River. So this is a passage kind of creating that scene. We march until we're near narrower water where the river crossing is to be made. It's a world of mud and loneliness with a thick band of mist that snakes atop the river. The other side's hidden behind the mist, save for the very highest peaks that hover above as though resting on clouds. Even this side is brushed with it, so our every step brings a further revelation of what's about. There's a gang of at least 20 men by the shore. They're a raggedy, hard-jawed lot and look like they're out for trouble. Some are leaning on sizable poles and smoking. Others have heavy cudgels. They see us approaching and seem amused by the sight. They speak among themselves, but we can't hear them. "New chums, is it?" yells one, out the one who seems to be their leader. "Sure you know it," says Stumpy. "You've quite the mob yourself." "Good enough, lads, and gainfully employed at that." "Is that so?" Stumpy has his eyebrows cocked as he looks the gang of rivermen over. "And what's the work to do here then?" The leader grins and peers round at his mates. "He wants to know what we do, wee Tommy. What do you say to that?" A tall man with a pair of monstrous, well-inked arms shrugs at the question, and then the lot of them start laughing. I can see Stumpy's feeling well mocked. His face is ablaze with it. I pass the hint of a smile at Jimmy, but my brother seems tied in a knot, as though he's trying to work a thing out, and he dares not look up till it's done. Stumpy musters the frown of a big man curdled by a lesser man's insult. He doesn't say anything, though. He's at least smart enough to know he's well outnumbered, and he hasn't the brawn of even the smallest man among that gang. Besides, they're the type who savour trouble. I'd know that eager bearing anywhere. One word from their head, and they'd be on the lot of us without hesitation. Nothing for it but the glory of knuckles and blood and the tales told later over cups on account of it. After a pause, their leader comes up and puts his hand on Stumpy's shoulder like a friend, then points him towards the mist. "Anyone who tries to cross and land here by means other than our barge is bound for nothing but a good walloping and a long trip down Storm Bay to feed the sharks." Stumpy nods and then turns to us and barks that we're to sit and wait. "Where to for you?" asks the leader. "Jerusalem," says Stumpy. "Could be worse. Could be Jericho." Both men laugh at that. "The old fella over there never stops belly aching how much he itched when he had months at Jericho. I reckon itching's in his nature, though. He's always at it. He's the scabbiest old bugger I've ever known." Stumpy's relaxed enough now to smile at the other man's friendly banter. He has a chuckle and goes so far as to offer the man his flask. "That itchy vermin's wicked as it gets." "Well, that's quite a claim," the riverman replies. "See, wee Tommy was on the gang under Bobby Notman." "God, the Nutman!" exclaims Stumpy. "And your man lived to tell the story." "Nah, you won't get any stories out of wee Tommy. He hasn't the tongue for it, you see, but there's story enough when his shirt's right off him. Ugliest sight you're ever likely to see. Oh, Bobby had a taste for it. And Arthur loved him for it. Sure he did. The pious prick. His kind's the worst. Not a road carved across this island wasn't bought with poor men's blood to make the rich richer. And that bastard Arthur was always putting himself first in that line. And all the while he and his kind are lily white in their Sunday best, saying prayers and bunging on the righteous. The riverman snorts, spits at that, then adds, "Things are different now, of course. Not so much flogging these days." The scientific method. God help us. Both men laugh bitterly. "I don't know that it's better," says Stumpy. "I'd rather a quick flog than days alone in a box." Evil by a different name, I reckon. They lace their words with clever these days, but it's still a boot up the arse, isn't it? Just comes at a different angle. Cat or box or treadmill. Never mind the how of it. No one doing the rotten in this world. No chance for the likes of us in any of it. He looks up then. Anyway, here's the old man in his barge. Best get your lot ready for it. Ferryman doesn't favour those who dawdle. Are you stopping at Jerusalem yourself? Probably. Till I have my ticket. Well, good luck to you then, old mate. And you. The ferryman stands at the back of his barge. His coat is a patchwork of rough pelts that make him more animal than man. His hair is wild and clotted, and his eyes seem born from darkest night, and he has a smell about him of dead things left to rot. I swear, the way he looks at me, it's like he sees no more than meat on bones. He grunts us on board, grabs the slip of paper that Stumpy proffers, peers down at it intently, as though he were to read, then tucks it in his pocket and looks us over. "Lovely irons," he murmurs. "Lovely irons for taming ugly pets." He sniffs at Jimmy, who flinches. The ferryman seems delighted at that and leans the closer. In the end, it's all across the river thanks to me. He pushes the barge out from the shore and we drift into a world where half-glimpsed shadows play in the folds of a dirty white light. A crow is cawing somewhere up above as the barge moves across the deeper water. It's still and dark beneath us, a thing more felt than seen, peaceful in some deadly way that stirs up dread inside me. As we move further, a shadow looms over us. A little further still, and the ugly shape of a prison hulk appears. The creature sniffs and chuckles. "Can you smell 'em?" he asks. He licks his lips, searches our faces, then shakes his head with disdain. I look up at the miserable form and catch sight of its name, Anson. It's the bleakest, darkest thing I've ever seen. "One flick of a blade, I'd have that bonnet fair off you," the creature says, almost tenderly, as he sets his eyes on my skull. He looks across at the two guards. They're as subdued as the rest of us. "His evil makes a colony," he says. He scratches his jaw, then stares at Stumpy. Stumpy seems full of shame at the attention. He frowns as though he's desperately trying to find some suitable word to say. He knows he can't appear to be the man he wants to be. This creature would sniff the deceit straight away. "You been here long?" Stumpy asks it with a supplicant tone. It pleases me to see him reduced to that, all the bluster in him and all the threats. And here he is, a petrified child. The creature shifts around as though the question needs some space to settle. His movement sets the barge rocking, and we all grab at the sides as best we can. He grunts and stares up at the mist above as though taking its measure, and it seems a long time before he responds. First come does the ugly. Next come gains the spoils. He peers back at Stumpy, as though looking for some agreement. The guard straightens, thinking there might be a chance of reasserting some tone of authority. Wouldn't mind some of them spoils myself. The creature raises his eyebrows at that. He doesn't laugh as Stumpy might have hoped. He stares more intently at the guard, as though the man warrants closer examination. What was it you said? He asks. Spoils, splutters Stumpy. I wouldn't mind some myself. The creature grins and stares some more. He reaches across and gathers some of the chains in his hand, as though he needs to know their weight. Had ones like this in the high country. He smiles at some dark memory, spreads his legs and scratches. The mist suddenly falls away like a curtain parted, and the rugged shoreline is right in front of us. The creature stands and sets the barge rocking again as he thrusts his pole into the shallower water and pushes us to the shore. All you were is dead now. He says it as some final benediction as we stumble off the barge and onto rocks.